Welcome, welcome. Hello, everyone. We're going to do some TA here today, confirm some theories we had, and get an outlook on what we can expect going forward. And I'll take a few questions. And so this should take roughly about, let's say, like half an hour. I know you guys have been saying that the lives have been a little long, so I'll try and be more concise, and I'll probably break this up for the people that come a little later. So, as always, let me know you can hear me, and we'll get started. Put it in chat, and then we'll get started on these charts here and get an idea of some of the confirmations we've been getting over the last 24 hours. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Trey. I appreciate you. Okay, so first I'm going to start with Dogecoin, then we're going to move to some of the market indicators to kind of get an idea. I made a post in my community section, so it looks like all the things that we've been talking about over the last week or so is coming true, right? So like about a couple weeks ago, I said that I believe that at best, Dogecoin would not break above this cycle here. At best, we'd come up and test it, but more than likely, until we get some concrete information from like the Feds as far as how much money is going to be removed from the market, are they going to remove the bonds? To what degree are the rate hikes going to be? How many of them are there going to be? It's going to be pretty much a place of indecisiveness, right? So for Doge, that put us in a category of saying that, okay, well, more than likely, the buys and sells will probably cancel each other out to a degree, and will probably trend sideways, right? So it's not going to trigger a bull run, or not bull run, but it's not going to trigger like upward momentum or putting pressure on there, just because the charts would indicate, based off of what's going on, that you can potentially get greater prices going forward. And again, shorts are not going to start wasting a lot of money in here, because you don't want to get on the wrong side of that, especially with such strong rejections at around the 12 cents level. Because actually, this is one of the things that I'm really it really has me excited about what's going on with Doge, is our actual resistance line. If you've been following my channel, I've been saying it like for months, and we looked at the charts here. We said 12 cents, right? We are actually consolidating. We get strong rejections anytime we get close to 12 cents, which is really good. That is actually really good. And we're actually building some resistance above it at around 14 cents, 13, 14 cents, which is great. We're building pretty much like a floor above the actual historic resistance line. So that goes to show you that even based off of the historical range of consolidation for the coin, it's showing that most investors that are in Doge believe that it's overvalued even before, undervalued or oversold at that point, prior to even getting there, which is really bullish. So that makes us consolidate at a higher point. So that puts Doge in a really great position. Now, what we see here with Doge, and Doge is, if there's one thing Doge can do, I say that a lot, but Doge can hold the line, right? Doge is, it's infamous for not, if the market tanks or there's like a major catalyst going on that can cause like a strong rejection, if the community and Doge is saying that, okay, well, this is what we believe to be fair market value at the time, Doge will hold the line. And we're seeing that today. I'm going to take a look at the market maker here at Bitcoin in a moment, but I think that Doge is doing really well above this 12 cents resistance line, and we'll probably come down and test it just because of where the market is shaping. But I'm really interested to see if we're going to get another rejection off of it. But again, we're doing great. I gave you the numbers as to what would happen if we break that resistance. Just to recap, I believe we will have some strong buying pressure coming in at around 8 to 10 cents, which can possibly pump the brakes on it. But the actual floor for that next resistance level is around 6 cents. But again, I believe that even with the way we're getting the rejections off of the 12 cents, it kind of just reaffirms my thoughts as far as for us getting the brakes pumped at around 8 to 10 cents. So I feel really strongly on that. Do you think Doge will get more dip? It's entirely possible, but we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, because that's really a strong indicator as far as for like where the market's going to go. And again, some of the things that we've been talking about over the last month or so, last few weeks, specifically with this pattern we're in, it is actually coming true and it is forming. So we got the confirmation for Dogecoin. It's going sideways just like we thought. And we're going to, I made a post about this on my chart for, my community section, and it seems to be going just the same as well. So with Bitcoin, it looks like we are pretty much forming our fifth lower high. And as we talked about, ever since we consolidated and came up and got this rejection off of 66,000, that 21-day moving average has been historic for this pattern. And whenever we pretty much come up to it, we'll like kiss it and then get a rejection. And so we kind of went above it here, but you'll see that we'll come close to it, get a rejection, come close to it, get a rejection. So let's say 3 out of the 4, well, really 4 now out of the 5, we get rejections off of this moving average. And what I was saying was, it looks like, based off of the catalyst that we have here, it looks like this is the pattern that we're in. And in order to break that, we're going to need to see 42 to 44,000, us get closer to that 50 to 72-day moving average, where we can say, oh, okay, well, we're breaking out a cycle here, and we know that causes for us to kind of reevaluate to see where the new projections are going to be. But as of right now, based off of the charts, we should have got a rejection around the 21-day moving average, which we did. And now we're pretty much forming another lower high. As far as for resistance, that puts us, the next stop basically would put us at around that 29 to 30,000. And again, you'll see a lot of articles saying that, oh, well, this is already factored in and this is baked in and stuff like that. We have over $1 trillion injected into the market alone in the last 12 months, 18 months. There's no way that 9%, 8%, these borderline corrections that we got factored in the amount of funny money that's in the market. It's just mathematically not there. You're going to have so what's going to happen is, the reason I said that stack your cash and prepare for great entries, because if you have like these whales or these institutions stating that, okay, well, we need to rebalance our portfolios pretty heavily within before like the next 60 days, because the Fed gave us nothing on our meeting. And before that time is up, we need to make sure we're in position just in case they come out, that they don't completely screw us. So we need to make sure that our portfolios are rebalanced, basically. And then you'll have people, and you'll have either YouTubers and everybody else pumping up, oh yeah, buy the dip, it's all in the dip. And this is one of the situations where you get in where the dip keeps dipping. And for people that are heavy in these positions that are going to cash out and just re-enter lower, this is technically their dream, because you'll have people come in, you pretty much, because even if you're doing like a ladder attack or something on the positive end, if you're doing sell-offs, you sell off, take a break, and you'll have like this consolidation point. People come in, this is the bottom. This is the bottom right here. Buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. Put them further back in profit. Oh, great. Sell off some more. Buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. Sell off some more. Oh, this is it right here. This is the bottom. Buy the dip, buy the dip. And, it is really just a dream, like when you're taking profits, especially when you have these lower entries and you're able to sell off large positions, and you're a whale, so you have to do it in increments. So you're able to sell off large positions. People come in, pump it back up, and you're able to take further profits. You have to look at, that's the micro of it. The charts indicate, a trajectory as far as where the coin's going to go. But you can't just look at the micro. You can't just say, oh, support and resistance, this is where I'm going to time my entries. You have to look at the thing in the entire perspective so that you can get an idea. There's micro and then there's macro. Macro, fundamentally, nothing has changed. Fundamentally, we know that we still have that dark cloud over the market. There's still that great deal of uncertainty. What does uncertainty do to the market? You don't have bull runs in time of uncertainty. The Fed's meeting, if you guys watched it, they gave you absolutely nothing when it came to certainty. So there's no logical reason for this to go on a bull run. Even if a positive catalyst came out, it would just simply it would simply spike. But you can't go against what the actual sentiment is in the market. And the macro of it says that we need confirmation on how much money is going to be removed from the markets. What are they going to get the money back from those bonds and remove it? And how aggressive are these rates going to be, right? How much more difficult is it going to be to borrow money going into the future? How much more difficult is it going to be to have margins going into the future? Like, how much money is going to be removed from the market? That is what, until we get concrete information on those numbers, you're going to have these consolidations and people rebalancing their portfolios. So, and typically that'll mean, even if they remove the money now from something like a Bitcoin, this is an indicator for the market. That's why I cover Bitcoin. So you can kind of expect, with your other plays. I know a lot of you have Dogecoin, Ethereum, and stuff like that. That's fine, but you have to look at what's going on overall so that you can, prepare yourself, right? So this is what I believe that a lot of these institutions are doing. They're, capitalizing off of people pumping and saying buy the dip. And when getting well that there's no catalyst to say that this is the floor. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that coin count doesn't matter and all that. It does. But if you are smart, if you have the experience, you can look at a chart and just get better entries. I'll say that. But coin count does matter. It matters greatly in the long run, but you can get better entries because the people that are taking money out of these positions, these billions and trillions of dollars that are evaporating from the stock market. We've seen what happened to the stock market today. If this money that's going out, they're getting cash heavy, right? So if the money leaves the market, it's not going into real estate, it's not going into crypto, it's not going into obviously not going into stocks. What are they doing? They're getting cash heavy, which is why I said stack your cash and prepare to make these entries. So, they're getting cash heavy and they'll, decide, okay, well, this is great. Or we have the news from the Fed that's going to give us like that concrete information. So now we know where we need to go moving forward. And then they come in and start buying up these assets and stuff like that. And that's when you get the next trajectory on the bull run. And the problem is most people will either be buying the dip here and getting sold from underneath, and they'll get frustrated at some point down here around 29,000, or when we break that, they'll be like, oh my God, I'm losing everything, or they'll over leverage. And so they end up selling at a loss. And then they'll come in, buy this here, and we'll go up and set a new all-time high. And, the cycle repeats, right? So we have to kind of look at these cycles here and kind of make sure that we understand, the plays and stuff that we're in, and not just focus on the micro. Charts say a lot, right? Charts, charts have patterns. History doesn't repeat, it rhymes, but it's not all inclusive. You have to look at the micro and the macro, right? I don't care and this is why I said earlier, I said that we're going to see rallies and these little bounces, right? It's nothing, Bitcoin is not going to just take a straight nosedive from 66,000 down to 20, 25,000. It's not going to happen. You're going to have these people that come in and say, oh, this is the absolute bottom, and this is going to cause these pumps, and you'll have these other little fake outs and bear traps, all this other kind of stuff like that. And you have to be prepared for that. You have to ask yourself, what's the reason behind a bear trap? These are people that, when you look at what's the reason behind like a fake out or a bear trap, you have to look at, okay, well, these are people that obviously want out of this position, but they want out at the most profitable point. What other way to do that than to sell at increments and have people say, oh, this is the bottom, and people start saying buy now, but this is the bottom, this is the dip, this is the absolute lowest it's going to go, and they start pumping it back up. And then what do? You sell from underneath them again. And this is how you make a fortune as far as what's coming out. And then you have all your extra cash that you basically screwed everybody out of, and then you come in at the bottom and you buy then, and you ride the way back up, and then you rinse and repeat. This has been the cycle for a long time. So this is why I started making videos, and I get a lot of heat for this. They're like, oh, you're pumping FUD, and we're putting out these numbers and stuff like that. No, these are the numbers that I see, and I want you guys to be prepared so that when you when we're in a bull run or things are looking great, I'm calling bottoms and stuff like that, saying that, okay, well, these are the bottom numbers. That's because, we're becoming to a point where we're over leveraged, overbought. So you have to look at both sides, micro, macro, floors, resistance. You got to cover all your bases if you're going to be proficient. So, and you also see this pattern. I'm going to touch on it here as well. It's tighter, but you see this exact pattern. And this is how I know institutions are wanting to get cash heavy. Let's confirm this in number 2, right? Let's confirm this in number 2. We're at 5 lower highs in Bitcoin and pretty much doing the same pattern, coming up, kissing the 21-day moving average. This here is Ethereum. Does this look familiar to you? Does this look familiar to you? And again, we have the same pattern here. I peak, come up, rival it, rejection, 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 buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. And where are we getting rejected? Just like Bitcoin, 21-day moving average. So until those sentiments change, we are looking at further consolidation. So that's why I say stack your cash. As far as for those of you that are heavy in Dogecoin, we are doing really well as far as for our 12 cents resistance, even better than I anticipated, honestly. Where's my chart? Okay, yeah, so we're doing better, even better than I anticipated as far as for us being rejected off of that 12 cents line. So this is really great for us. But we have to just make sure that we are being patient and knowing what trend that we're in. So again, until we break above this, which I don't believe we will until we come up and test it. But until we get some concrete numbers from the Fed, and then we have our AMC catalyst coming up like late March, which will be close to that. So depending on if the Fed kind of moonwalks on their numbers and say, okay, well, we're going to do 0.25%, or maybe we're only going to do like 3 hikes this year and kind of ease into it, and the AMC catalyst comes out, we can very well break out of this and start our new trend. I think that especially if they are very if they're not so hawkish on it, we can even set up with that momentum to possibly come up here and test some of these resistance lines. But I really have to see how the people respond to the AMC catalyst. That's our next big one in March, April, and it's really timed closely to the Fed's new announcement as far as giving us more detail on what is going to happen as far as for the economy and how strict they're going to be. So I think that's going to be a major catalyst going forward, and that's pretty much where we are now. So I will, if you guys have questions or comments, I'll take those for like the next 10 minutes, and then I'll cut this video up and so that people don't have to kind of like search through it. And I'll post those videos sometime tonight. So let's see here. If we dip a bit more, it will bounce very fast. Don't take any chances. Buy at least 25% of your allowed budget now and wait for the rest. Yeah, I always say give yourself the opportunity to capitalize off of dip. So yeah, don't be too hastily investing, especially with what we're in now. It's a lot of uncertainty right now. So just kind of got to be smart. I say, do you think AMC will squeeze in general? Yes, absolutely. I'm expecting something from them this first quarter as well. And that's what I heard, but nothing concrete yet. Because I'm hearing March. I've seen some videos. I definitely haven't seen a video about October, but I know October 1st has been really popular. I haven't seen anything concrete, but that's one of the catalyst that's being pushed, but I haven't seen it. So we'll see. As soon as we get close, it'll be announced, or Elon will say something. Let's see. Elon been really quiet about Doge One mission. I think he will just surprise everyone in the next few weeks. We shall see $1 Doge by March. Okay. Shiba Inu is always doing is also doing well. The chart is running sideways for the first time. Yeah, I've done some TA on Shiba for quite a few times. Shiba was at a do or die point. If they didn't hold up that point where they are now, they were looking at a full retracement. So that was the absolute last chance they had at maintaining the coin. So they're doing exactly what they should be doing to maintain their presence. Because yeah, after that was the last line of resistance. So it was a full retracement after that. Let's see. Imagine we get McDonald's, Elon Doge acceptance commercial during the Super Bowl. Yeah, that'd be great momentum there. Great momentum. What price point are you adding to your position? Great question. So I'm buying a little now, weekly, but I really want to. My biggest thing is I really just want to wait until like around like around like March, so that I can get an idea of what the Fed's going to do. Because the reason I'm only even buying now is because I'm not sure how people were going to respond to the AMC catalyst. AMC is going to give us much more utility than Tesla. And is going to be our major breakout on a business that's not directly attached to Elon, which is fundamental as far as for the success of the coin overall. Because we need that. We need to not have that stereotype where the Doge community simply supports the coin because it's attached to Elon, and Elon's kind of like the reason it gained popularity and all the other kind of stuff like that. So I think that this is that's the biggest point. So that's the reason why, because just in case there's crazy momentum or something like that, and we start going back up and we consolidate again around like 16 or so until we get something concrete from the Fed. I don't want to be in a position like, well, like, oh my gosh, I should have bought it. Should have had more coins at like 12 cents. But again, Fed comes out and they're incredibly hawkish, like, hey, look, we got to get things under control. Here's the interest rates for this year. And we start testing those lower levels of resistance and we start breaking down. I'll look forward to getting it sub 12. But as of right now, I have started buying again. So I'm doing so weekly, but just not as aggressive as I will be if we break that 12 cents resistance level. So hope that answers your question. I said it before and I say it again. You talk and I listen. I appreciate you. What you think about Dogelon Mars? Dogelon Mars, I believe, has the potential to be a great cash grab. So, and that really just depends as far as for like on the economy. It's in my top 5 as far as for that can generate cash for this year, but it's not something I'll be long in at the moment. So I would take Dogelon Mars as something I would have like my extra money in. It's not something that I would actively invest into or count on or have it as like my main one of my main investments, right? It's just like I would say almost like my gamble money, like, because it has the potential, but it's not like a main catalyst. Or not, excuse me, it's not like a main focus for me. So it's just something that I'll set a certain amount of money into. Like you can do $1,000, $2,000, and like, okay, I'll see what that does. But it's not something I continuously put money into. I focus on other coins. Let's see. Back to work. See you later, David. No, no problem, man. Thank you for tuning in. Let's see. Did you get a moment by chance to verify mining being halted in a sense once if Dogecoin moves to POS? Thanks, David. No, from what I heard, that actually may be the case, but I personally did not. It's actually on my list here. I was making some changes to like the layout of my my page and stuff that I'm going to be unrolling over the next few days. So I actually haven't had a chance to work my way through the list, but I have not forgot about it. But from what I did read something along the lines of that said that I believe that mining would be slowed or something like that, but I have not personally verified that. So don't hold me to that. But if that is indeed the case, that can work to the benefit of the people that hold the coin, because it's a slower injection. So that can certainly cause for a price spike. Let's see, a lot of uncertainty indeed, but it's safe to say crypto and stock markets will bounce to all-time high in the next 10 years. I'm in it for the long run, first-time trader. and I'm already down 1.3 thousand USD. Yeah, and see, and if you're long, especially you have like the time to be invested in that and invest into the market, that's a really great way to look at it. Like you look at 5, 10 years, say, hey, will this coin appreciate? And and 9 times out of 10, well, even if you hold for like a 10-year period in the market, technically speaking, since the stock market was created, so we're talking about like 100 years here, 100 plus years, it's never it's never had a negative return, right? So the economy usually outpaces when you hold, right? It's typically when you try and trade and you're being short term and you have shiny object syndrome and you're bouncing around from all these coins that's supposed to give you 10,000x. That's typically when you get screwed. But yeah, in your long term, yeah, it has never happened where we had a negative return, especially for that amount of time frame. So yeah, short term, it cannot look so good just because of where we are. We're coming in off of a large injection of cash, but historically the markets stabilize, we reach a bottom and we start trending back up. It's just that we have a lot of funny money in the market and the money has to go back home. So long term, we'll be fine. I would definitely spend Doge at AMC, go to the movies 2 or 3 times a month. Absolutely, absolutely. That's why I said AMC has more. AMC has more utility. AMC can give us more utility than Tesla can easily, right? Most people can't afford a Tesla car, whether that's Doge or dollars, right? So it sounds great. Tesla accepts Doge. That sounds great. It adds to the credibility of the coin. But as far as for actual utility, no, the people that can afford a Tesla, they got one already, right? They're not waiting on Doge to go, I'm going to spend my Doge to go buy a Tesla. So it's great that it adds the credibility to it. But as far as for most people, like the average person holding Dogecoin, you'll have better support when you do Tesla merch. You'll have better support because that's at a lower price point where people can actually make those purchases, right? You'll have a better support when you say, oh, come buy this $15 movie ticket, a $20 movie ticket, whatever, with Dogecoin. You'll have more support. So I think that is going to be a great opportunity for all of us. Hey, David, do you think we reached the bottom of AMC at 1350 to 1450 range, and will it drop back down to $10 or under? I want to add to my position, which is $600 shares at $36.20. I believe we're getting close. I posted on my Twitter today that yesterday we closed with about 10.3 million shares available, and this morning we had around 3.3 million. And I'm like, wow, that's like 7 million shares that vanished, and we only dropped $1. That's a lot for very little. So that would kind of indicate that we are closing in on a bottom. So I'm very excited for that. We'll see going forward because I would pull up a chart, but it's impossible to chart it because it's all BS. But based off of those numbers and the amount of money it took to use those shares, it's indicative that it's saying that we're closing in on the bottom. So I think we're getting close. Not buying anything in Robinhood anymore. I bet. What do you think of Tectonic? I haven't heard of it. I could chart it, but I haven't. As far as my actual thoughts on it, I'd have to know more about the coin. Smash the like button. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I have no idea how many likes we have, as always, because I filmed through a third party. But if you like the video, if I said anything that makes sense to you, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more from me. I'm so tired of Doge trading sideways. I want something to happen already. Sideways is not bad, especially when you're in a market that has mass consolidation and you got coins dropping. Because you think about it, Doge kind of consolidated technically before a lot of these major coins. And the benefit is you'll see that, okay, well, if Doge was consolidated, if Doge were a pump and dump, it would be pretty much breaking through the floors now and consolidating or pretty much doing a full retracement, right? So Doge trending sideways is actually really great. that is it building like resistance, and it's stopping in all the places that it's supposed to stop at. Like, so if Doge would have, if we just started getting this downtrend in the overall market, if Bitcoin started going down and we'd have flew through 12 cents and flew through like 6 cents or something like that, or hit 6 cents and then went through it, that's at that point, it's like, okay, well, we are in trouble. But when you are able to look at a chart and say that, okay, well, we have some resistance here at historically at around 16, we hit that, we struggle, we go sideways, great. We hit 12, we get a rejection, a strong one, we bounce, that's great. So a stock can only go 3 ways: up, down, and sideways. I'm okay with 2 of those ways: sideways and up. So and, I understand what you're saying, but in a time like this, a coin going sideways is really great. So we have to, sideways is better than down. So we just kind of got to keep that in mind. Let's see. Would you ever consider doing vlogs? A day in the life video of you would be dope. Well, I don't know. I don't know if people would be interested in seeing that. I don't know, but what I do, even at these charts, you'll be surprised how often I look at these charts and liquidity pools and stuff all day. So I guess if you're looking to, as far as like how I come up with my numbers and stuff like that before I actually go live, I guess it could be useful, but I don't know if that it'll be like, you'd have to really be a number cruncher to find like what I do outside of this to watch those videos. I don't know. Maybe I can do a poll on that. I'm probably not going to do it, but I still would be interested to see how many people would be interested. So I think that, I may do a poll on that, but I don't know if I'll actually do something like that. See, Tectonic is a new safe moon. Tectonic this, okay. I'll take a look at it off of the live later tonight, but I honestly, I've never heard of it. So basically, the Doge will go more down. It's possible. That's why I gave you the numbers. I gave you the next 2 levels of support. I think that if you factor in like what's going on as far as like in the market, that leaves room for further consolidation all around, but it's not a guarantee as far as for how much further it will go down. So that's one of the reasons why I started buying, is because we're consolidating a little higher than what I thought we would, right? So that means that we can consolidate a little higher than the 6 cents resistance line, or that 8 to 10 cents. That may actually just be, we may hit 10 and bounce up to that 12, and that may be our consolidation point, just because of the amount of people in there. Because the only thing that makes Doge difficult to, I'll say more difficult to actually chart, is because of the amount of people that actually hold it, right? So we've got numbers that 65% of all people invested in crypto, they own some Doge, right? So the question is, at what point do those people say, wow, Doge is extremely cheap, I'm not long in it, but I believe that it can appreciate from here? At what point do those people come in and start being aggressive, right? And I can't chart that. That's the part that I can't. So when we get close to what the chart says we should hit, that's when I start taking action. So technically speaking, yes, but will it, or to what degree, it's hard to say. So I know that was kind of like a not, I know it's not like a direct answer, but I hope that helps. Appreciate your work, sir. No, I appreciate you. Thank you. Great info. Looking forward to accumulating more Doge in the coming months. Cheers, David. Thank you, Mel. I appreciate you. I disagree. If I can buy a Tesla for a third of the price, I will. Well, as far as for like the third of the price, I don't know, because more than likely because I don't think that, I guess if you're saying if you buy Tesla and Doge appreciates, then you can buy it for like a third of the price. But as far as for Tesla, Elon selling Tesla for a third of the price off, that won't be like, I don't see how that would make sense, because the profit margins and the price of the Doge, the price of the car would just be converted until the current price of, the price of Doge or whatever. So unless we get like a massive run and it's a set price, I don't see how it would give you a discount. Or maybe you're saying another point. I don't know. If you clarify, I guess I can better understand the point that you're making. Chart it, please. What, Tectonic? Okay, I'll take a look at it. See, TA on Doge. Yeah, I did TA on Doge. We're doing great. So I'll do that, and then I'll take a look at the Tectonic. But yeah, so we're doing great here. We're coming up. We're hovering around our 21-day. We're getting the bend here, which is great. And we're holding up above our 12 cents line. So this is what we expected. This is what we talked about for the last few weeks. Until we get a decisive decision from the Feds and stuff going forward, we're more than likely going to start a sideways trajectory here for like the next 30 days or so. Now, we could get some catalyst or something happens to kind of give us like a spark, or if we get like a major breakdown or something like that, then we can see how that 12 cents holds up. But so far, every time we come close, we get a strong rejection. But Doge in itself is doing exactly what we thought it was going to do, which is hold the ground. And even while some of these other coins are getting rejected off of their price points. So I'm going to do Tectonic, and let's see, and then I'll wrap this up. So I'm going to chop up the video so that people that missed it can kind of come to get what they want. I don't even know how to spell that. What the hell? What is it? Tectonic? ONIC? Let me see. Is it on a different? Let me see if it's on Coin Market Cap or something. Oh yeah, it's too new. It's not even on. It's not even on Trading View. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, and see, this thing, I can't. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So I would have to look at the actual stuff like around the coin because I don't know enough about it to speak on it properly. But I think that one of the things we have to do is just make sure, again, that it has those things that we talked about, right? Community, leadership, utility, vision, stuff like that, so that we can focus like more so on the longevity of the coin, just to make sure that it's not, people aren't just buying it because it's cheap. So I can't, with this here, I can't, because the chart looks terrible. So I can't give a formal recommendation on this, because even with the amount of this, this sell-off here, this has all happened within like the last 30 days too. This is extreme volatility. So I would have to take a look deeper into like the actual functions of the coin. This is the last year. Yeah, so we just gotta make sure we're just not buying it just simply because it's cheap. But I'd have to take a further look into it before I can formally speak on it. So I hope that makes sense. David, would you mind doing some Ethereum TA? I've done some earlier. So pretty much Ethereum it's pretty much identical to Bitcoin, right? Except it's a lot tighter, but Ethereum is pretty much identical to Bitcoin's pattern. So we're in that trend of lower highs. We're forming the sixth one now. I believe Bitcoin is forming the fifth, but the trend is pretty much identical, right? So we're downward trending. Bitcoin's next stop as of right now, until we break that trend, is around 30,000. We're coming up here, kissing that 21-day moving average, and Ethereum's next stop. Yeah, this here, yeah, there's no support here. So more than likely, we got that little pump here. Yeah, strong rejections. Yep. So that little wick here caused like a slight halt, and we got like a somewhat of a bounce there for Ethereum. But that gap will probably be filled, and you're going to be looking at around 1776. Huh. Interesting number there, but yeah, we'll be looking around that. So yeah, like I said, this is the time to, if you're long in some of these positions and you want to get some great price, you can certainly invest a little every, whatever to your liking. I'm not going to give you a recommendation, but whatever to your liking, and just kind of save some, because there's a strong chance that you may have better opportunities in the near future to get more coins. So, so I think that will, kind of help out. Let's see. Let's say, David, recently Billy Marcus said negativity in the community is devaluing the brand. Do you think Doge could be ruined dramatically, considering that even Bitcoin has many negative people? It's possible, because Bitcoin has been, you can't really compare the two. So, because people, even if you look at the shorts for Dogecoin for us to have that rally after the Tesla announcement, for us to have that rally and for shorts to come in that strong, and then you had a lot of celebrities. I think Jordan Belfort and some other people said that they are shorting Dogecoin. For shorts to come in that strong and try and like kill the momentum of a stock that's less than a quarter, that lets you know that it is, there's strong hatred and dislike for the coin, what it represents, what the plans of it are to be. It's strong disappointment. It's strong resentment there, and it's not the chosen coin. The chosen coin is the one chosen by institutions, always has been, and that's Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the Coca-Cola, it's the face, it's the brand of crypto market, or the crypto market, or crypto in general. So, if you have a lot of these internal issues and a lot of stuff that's going on negatively with the coin, and we are trying to get to a point where we have to go out to different institutions and partner with these institutions, depending on how bad or aggressive it can be, it can just say, oh, okay, well, there are other alternatives out there, so we may not want to use, Dogecoin. But I think that it have to get much worse than where it is now. But if it simply got to like a point where it's out of control, or if it was causing, all of these like issues, especially more so online, then I can see it having a negative impact. But overall, right now, I think that we're in a great spot. So maybe speaking to like a point, maybe like in the future for like a lot of the negativity that's going on. But there's always been that, even since last year, I can see it. I can say there's always been that that hatred for Dogecoin. So I don't think that's actually going to go anywhere. And I don't think that it's completely the Dogecoin's community's fault. I think a lot of, because I know even last year, even when Dogecoin was like booming, a lot of when I was making like my initial videos, there's a lot of people came on there with just absolute hate and disgust for the coin for whatever reason. So I don't think that it's necessarily indicative of a current situation, but I guess he was saying I don't get like sucked into the negativity. But I'd have to read like his actual post. I don't know if it was longer, or if it was just like he paraphrased it. But I think right now we're in a great position. Let's see. All right. So here, learning, listening, and buying dips, buying to fear, cost averaging, great live chat, sharing on Facebook and friends. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm going to chop this up. So hopefully the people that got on a little later, they can kind of get what they want out of the live without like searching through it. And I'm going to be doing that a little bit more often with these different coins and stuff, so that you guys can kind of be more precise if you don't actually make the live and get a chance to ask your questions. So I think that'll be really beneficial to a lot of people on the channel, because I value your time. Your time is valuable. So I just try to make sure I can be as direct and help you get the information you need as quickly as possible, so that you guys can make decisions. Let's see. Can I do book ideas again in the community? I like the last ones. Yeah. I'll do a book recommendation. I have plenty of them. I'll do another one because I may even do one in the group so that we can kind of like just read it together. Because there's several of them that really completely molded my thoughts on the market and pretty much how I evaluate it, and like a lot of the numbers and stuff I even look at to give me ideas. So I think that I think that it'll be helpful. So yeah, I'll definitely put some more recommendations in there. You're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate you. Any updates on Grimace Coin? I don't have any updates on it. I have to take a look, but I imagine it's going to help. So I'll have to take a look on it to be sure. But again, I'm no psychic, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. So if you haven't yet, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend, and I will chop these up and have these out later to you guys tonight. So with that being said, I appreciate all of you. Thank you, and have a good night.